The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and our future. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this first day of spring. It's spring here on the East Coast, by the way. Can you feel it? You can hear the robin singing. There's baseball going on. We're supposed to get a foot of snow in the mountains over the weekend, but that's not neither here nor there. How are you? Today's offering is the Montreal Expos, who are surprisingly, now my nose itches, hold on, in second place in the National League East behind the New York Mets. And they travel to Houston to face the first place Houston Astros. Not only are the Expos behind the 8-ball in Houston, they face Mike Scott. And this season for Scott really does kind of have a Steve Rogers 82, a John Tudor 85. Just in this particular game engine action PC, a dominant starting pitcher can do so much damage and help a team out so much. And Scott has that kind of vibe. We know that if he had gone Game 7 in real life in the National League Championship Series, it's the Astros of the Red Sox of the World Series and not the Mets. So the best pitcher in the National League, Mike Scott. Bryn Smith going for the Expos. He's no chopped liver, but he's not Mike Scott. And so that's the setup for you. It's the Expos. How you doing, Mr. Turnbull? And the Astros next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1986. Today from Houston, Texas, from the Astrodome, it is the Houston Astros and the Montreal Expos. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find Dave and Friends on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Mr. Turnbull rooting for the Spos. Good luck with that. And here's why. Mike Scott making his 13th of 37 starts. The former Met pitcher is 31 years old, throws a fastball at 93, and may scuff a pitch or two, and is a fly ball pitcher. He somehow went 18-10 with a 2.22 ERA, but it is the Astrodome. He right now holds the Triple Crown in pitching in the National League. He is 8-2, a 1.91 ERA. Making his 13th start of the year. He faced the Cubs on May 25th and shut them out. 5 times this year he has at double-digit strikeouts. Against those Cubs, he went 7 innings, so short work for Scott. 84 pitches, 2 hits, and 5 strikeouts. His season high for strikeouts is 11. He did it twice, San Francisco and Atlanta, and he shut out the Reds on April 18th on a 5-hitter. Overall, 89 1/3 innings for Scott, 66 hits, 24 runs, 19 earned. He's allowed 4 homers. He has walked 20 and struck out 87. So the combination of 8 wins, a 1.91 ERA, and 87 Ks gets you a Triple Crown if the season ended today. Herb Winningham leads off in center field for the Expos. Mitch Webster is in left. He'll bat second. Andre Dawson in right will go third. Hubie Brooks cleans up at short. Tim Wallach at third will bat fifth. Andres Galarraga at first will bat sixth. Vance Law at second, batting seventh. It's Mike Fitzgerald behind the plate today. He'll go eighth. And Bryn Smith, not a bad hitter, will go ninth. Scott can go as long as Hal Lanier wants him to go. Defensively for Houston, the ageless one, Jose Cruz, at 8 4 in left. Kevin Bass, a 5 6 in center, and Terry Poole, a 5 4 in right. Denny Walling is a 5 at third. Dickie Thon is a 7 6 at short. Phil Garner, a 4 6 at second, and Glenn Davis, a 6 at first. Mark Bailey behind the plate. He'll come home. He's a 4 5 there. And Scott, not a bad fielder. He is an 8. Todd B looking to coach me for a walk-off win. It'll be Winningham stepping in at 200, a homer and 6 RBI. Since you taunted me last week, Todd, after losing game 1 of the Juckett-Unger series, I have played another game of the Juckett-Unger series, and I think 3 or 4 in this replay, and I haven't lost since. Expos game 44. They are 26-17. For the Astros, this is game 45. They are 29-15. Friday night, May 30th, 1986. Scott starts off with a fly ball to center. Bass coming in, 1 out. Just letting you know, Todd. So this is the exploding scoreboard version of the Astrodome. I think, as Mitch Webster steps in at 303, 3 homers and 32 RBI, that 86 was the last year of it. I know in one of the efforts to keep the Oilers happy that they finally put up a second row of seats up there for football. But I think it was after 86. Webster hits a ground ball to Gartner over to Davis, 2 out. This obviously would have been from the 60s before the Oilers moved in because it's a full dirt infield. Here's Andre Dawson at 281, 8 homers and 32 RBI. Go Stros, Curtis says. How's Michigan? Dawson pops it up, left side. And someone from San Antonio made that catch. And it's a 2-2 count. Scott, in real life, had a whip of 923, which is fantastic. In this replay, he struggled a bit. It's only 956. Scott deals, ground ball to Thon, Dickie Thon, throws to first, and that is an out, and down go the Expos, 1-2-3. Andy rooting for the Spos after half an inning, no score. So Bryn Smith gets to be the sacrificial lamb. He'll be done September 10th. He is 30. He throws a fastball at 86 and a ground ball pitcher. He is 4-2 on the replay with a 3.84 ERA, making his 11th start of the year. Yep, Scott struck out 300. Who was the last one to 300? Scherzer? I bet you do see it. All you need is a guy that can get you 7 because they're striking out 9 or 10 per 9. I bet you do see it. Smith last pitched 5 days ago in San Francisco, or against San Francisco, in a 9-8 win. He didn't help himself, and you'll see why in a second. 5 1/3, 115 pitches, 3 hits. That's the good news. But he got Christmas treed, 6 runs, 4 earned. He walked 9. And struck out 2. Smith, 63 1/3 innings, 62 hits, 35 runs, 27 earned, 3 home runs allowed. He's walked 26 and struck out 34. Astros line up like this. Kevin Bass leads off in center. Terry Poole in right will bat second. Jose Cruz in left will go third. Denny Walling cleans up at third. Glenn Davis at first will bat fifth. Phil Garner at second goes sixth. Mark Bailey, not a good hitter, but he'll bat seventh behind the plate. Dickie Thon is at short. He'll go eighth. Mike Scott, doesn't matter what he does at the plate. It's all about what he does on the mound. He'll bat ninth, and Smith can give you 7 on a good day. Defensively for Montreal, Mitch Webster a 3 and a 7 in left. Herm Winningham in a 5 and a 5 in center. Andre Dawson a 9 and a 9 in right. Tim Wallach a 9 at third. Hubie Brooks a 3 and a 4 at short. Vance Law a 5 and a 6 at second. Galarraga an 8 at first. Fitzgerald a 7 and a 1. With this team speed, Miska Muska Musketeer behind the plate, and Smith is an 8. With a 965 fielding percentage. Bass at 337, 5 homers, and 26 RBI. There is a ground ball, base hit, right field. Dawson can't get there. Bass has 2 of these. That rolls all the way to the wall. With Bass's speed, he's going to third, and he'll beat it out. The throw from short for his first triple of the year. Law tried to fling it to Wallach, and that was no good. And so the Astros start with a triple. Here's Terry Poole at 260, a home run, and 14 RBI. The big difference is, of course, in today's baseball, your A starter, 7 on a good day, most days 6. Your back end starters, 4 or 5, and they certainly wouldn't do it. Pitch to Poole. There is a ground ball to Brooks. Bass will score. The throw to Galarraga is in time, and there's 1 out, and the Astros lead 1-0. John rooting for the Expos. Jose Cruz at 294, a home run and 21 RBI. John, remind me again what the date is of that Astro game that you want me to do. Jose Cruz at 294, a home run and 21 RBI. They hit the wrong button in the truck. Ground ball to second. Laws got it over to Galarraga for the out. 2 away for Denny Walling at 324, 5 homers and 21 RBI. What you will never see again, Todd, is a reliever rack up 100 innings. We pick on Bob Stanley an awful lot because he deserves it. But there were years where he would throw 150 innings all out of the pen. Ground ball to Brooks. Hubie's got it over to first, and that will do. Astros take advantage of the triple by Bass, and after 1, it is 1-0 Houston. So Brooks, Wallach, and Galarraga to face Scott, who threw 10 pitches in the first. Hubie at 346, 9 homers, and 39 RBI. When they lose him for the year, that will be big. Montreal, I don't know what their real-life record was after 44 games. But they aren't shrinking violets. Base hit left center field. Cruz will cut it off in the alley, and Hubie will hold with a single. For Tim Wallach, Wallach at 232, 6 homers and 28 RBI. And he was, for the longest time, Todd, very important through the early 80s. July 19th, okay. Stanley started 3 games that year because Don Zimmer lost faith in Bill Lee, which is why Don Zimmer got called the gerbil. He will eat innings. Astros reefer, how are you? Go Stros. Cruz through to the wrong base. I was going to get the runner out at first. Pitch to Wallach. Struck him out. First for Scott. 1 out for Galarraga at 315. 3 homers and 14 RBI. There is another base hit to left field. Cruz will pick it up and throws it to Thon. And it's first and second. 1 out for Vance Law at 245. 2 homers and 19 RBI. That's right. It was their 25th season rather than 25th anniversary. The Mets had a logo, too, so it probably was something the National League did. The Mets celebrated 86 as their... I have their yearbook here somewhere for their 25th season. The Cowboys did it at 84 for their 25th season. Remember getting into a conversation with my mother about, if they started in 60, 84 isn't 25. Which she was right. But the number of seasons doesn't equate to the number of years. Struck him out. Scott got him on a full count. Fastball took something off it. 2 out for Fitzgerald at 268, 5 homers and 15 RBI. Scott deals. Struck him out. He fanned the side. Not necessarily in order, but it works. No runs, 2 hits, no errors after an inning and a half. Houston 1, Montreal nothing. Oh, yeah, Scott definitely threw the split finger, and it got him into trouble. he'd have a good year in 89, but as Andy says, he scuffed it. Absolutely. And remember, for your scuffing needs, Retro Sports Network highly recommends Norton Sandpaper. Norton, made in Granville, New York. Glenn Davis at 274, 10 homers and 32 RBI. And that's what made Scott so effective, is that he had all the speed of a fastball. Clemens did this too. I don't think he scuffed it as much as Scott, with the unpredictability of a knuckler. Davis rips this one to right. Dawson is there. 1 out. For Phil Garner at 221, a home run and 19 RBI. There are plenty of ways, of course, to scuff a baseball. Vaseline being one of them. Being a dumbass and putting pine tar on your neck. Who was a Yankee pitcher a few years ago who did that? No, of course it wasn't a split finger. Or of course it wasn't a coinky dinky. There's no cheating in baseball. The more you know. Fly ball, right center. Back goes Winningham, and Herm will make the catch. This is a huge ballpark as far as home run power is concerned, as you're not going to get them. Mark Bailey at 250, by the way. 2 homers and 14 RBI. Kind of like his hairline, Andy. Ground ball in the right, or line drive in the right. Dawson dives and makes a great play. And so the Astros go in order. We go the third here at the Dome. 1-0 Houston. So Bryn Smith, Herm Winningham, and Mitch Webster to face Scott here in the third. Smith at 100, a home run, and 3 RBI. Scott deals. Fly ball right field. Pool in the alley, 1 out. So opening 9 for Scott, 39 pitches, 2 in the third, 2 hits and 3 strikeouts. Jim Wynn, oh, absolutely. There is the toy cannon. Herm Winningham, by the way, is 0 for 1. There is a rare videotape shot of the Astros playing. It must have been 66 or 67 at Crossley Field. It was a Houston broadcast. It wasn't in color. It was in black and white. And Wynn put one on I-70 out in left center. I mean, that ball was just absolutely hammered. Popped up. Thawne by the bag at second will make the catch, and there's 2 out for Mitch Webster, who's 0 for 1. Greg Maddox said he loved to get the ball back after a ground ball out. 99% of the time, the next pitch was a screwball 2-seamer. Maddox didn't play on a lot of plastic fields either. When he pitched for his home games, they were all on grass. There, speaking of ground balls, Garner's got it over to Davis, and that'll do. So 1, 2, 3 go the Expos in the third after 2.5. Houston 1, Montreal 0. Astros Reefer, how are you? I don't think we've talked before. That is a heck of a video. It'll be Thawne, Scott, and Bass to face Smith here in the third. Dickey at 266, a home run and 11 RBI. No, they didn't swap the ball out as much then. They do it pretty much after every batter now, right? It'd be a lot harder to pull the nail file special today. There is a ground ball foul first base side, and Galarraga hands it to a little boy from Houston. 0-2 the count. Now, John is from this general area. Aren't all the mud that rubs up baseballs from a lake or a pond in New Jersey? Struck him out. First for Smith. Thawne watched the 0-2 outside, and there's 1 out for Mike Scott, hitting 154 and 2 RBI. Struck him out. That's a good morning and a good afternoon. He chased an 0-2 fastball. 2 out for Kevin Bass, who led off the game with a triple and scored. Delaware River Road. Opening 9 for Smith, 37 pitches, 2 2/3. The run was earned, a hit and 2 strikeouts. Delaware River mud, because I can read. Mud. Nope, that was me. I don't wear my glasses to stream, and there's reasons why I probably should. Up the middle, Law snares it behind the bag over to Galarraga, and that will do. So the Astros go quietly in the third. The lone hit led to the lone run. That was in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the fourth, 1-0 Houston. MLB mud, known as Lena Blackburn baseball rubbing mud, comes from a secret, undisclosed location along a tributary of the Delaware River in southern New Jersey. Thank you, John Turnbull. I wonder what makes it so special. Because apparently mud ain't mud. Well, Andre Dawson's 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's 4 straight for Scott. Dawson chased a 1-2 fastball, 1 out for Hubie Brooks, who singled. Yes, the mud in Delaware is polluted by Washington. Atlantic City sludge. There she is, Miss America. Struck it 5 straight for Scott. How about that? A 1-2 breaking ball. Got him looking. Oh, clay content, I'm being told by John. The whole area is an ancient ocean bed. Okay. Jim Wallach struck out his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Scott deals. That is into center field, so somebody makes contact. Bass waits and will make the catch. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's still 1-0 Houston. So these were Thursday's games. Angels beat the Tigers 9-2. Doug DeCinces drove in 5. Yankees pounding Seattle 9-5. Dolly's friend Dan Pasqua 3 hits. Mets beat the Dodgers 5-4. Philly beat the Giants 4-2, and Oakland beat Baltimore 5-4. So Oakland's lead over California is 2.5. The Yankees have a 1.5 lead over Toronto. The Red Sox season is pretty much done. Houston 3.5 up on the Dodgers, and the Expos trail the Mets by 4. Expos had the second best batting average in the National League at .276, but Houston has the best ERA at .268 and the third best fielding percentage at .980. Scott leads the league in ERA, wins, and has a 10 strikeout lead coming in over Fernando Valenzuela. Ron, how many syllables are in Fernando's name? Too many. Steve, how are you? Awful drainage in your yard because if you hit clay 8 inches down. Wow. So it must be the clay content that makes that mud worth something? Steve says that ChatGPT says that Wynn's blast landed on York Street. In my old hometown of Poltland, that would be a blast and a quarter. But the wind blast, yeah. Past I-70. Poole is 0 for 1 with an RBI, by the way. Smith starts the fourth. Ground ball up the middle. Law snares it over to Galarraga for the out. Jose Cruz is 0 for 1. You know who was robbed of a lot of home runs besides Jim Wynn was Willie Mays. You think he would have broken Babe Ruth's record even if Candlestick had been enclosed for the majority of his prime years. Cole Hamill said he'd upset Jimmy Rollins after a ground ball out because Rollins would make a point of telling him he's got a good one. Hamels would exchange the ball and claim the scuff hurt his control. Walker. Yeah, I saw that Chuck Norris died. Chuck Norris, I knew he was sick. I saw that he had gone to the hospital. But Norm Macdonald, I think, put death the best way possible. You don't necessarily beat it. Or cancer. Pitch to Cruz. Fly ball right center. Back goes Winningham and Dawson, and that is off the wall. Cruz is going to have 2. His 9th double of the year, and that's only the second hit for the Astros. Danny Walling is 0 for 1. Norm Macdonald put it this way. The best you can do is call it a draw. And I think in Chuck Norris's case, I think it was pneumonia that felled him. That would be the case. You call it a draw. Dr. Jim, your first baseball game was 64 at Candlestick versus the Phillies. It was August, and we left mid-game because it was so cold due to the wind. The Mark Twain fake quote, the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. Walling is 0 for 1. Popped up, Fitzgerald can't get there, and it's a 2-2 count. And, of course, in the mid-'80s, if you stayed for an entire extra inning game at Candlestick, they gave you the quad of Candlestick. True dat. So who would we do that for? Scott Walker, right? Because that would be Walker, Texas Ranger. But if you need roundhouse kicks, wouldn't you do that for Rafael Septien instead? Pitch to Walling. Smith struck him out, 2 away. So Cruz on second. Happy Friday, Barb. Glenn Davis 0 for 1. Another pitcher's duel here. Davis swings, ground ball. Laws got it by the bag over to Galarraga. And Cruz will get stranded. We've played 4. Astros got their second hit of the game and leave on their first runner. And after 4, 1-0 Houston. I need a drink. Hold on. It'll be Galarraga, Law, and Fitzgerald to face Scott here in the 5th. No truth to the rumor that Barb is secretly hoping for a career-ending injury to Mike Scott. Galarraga singled his first time up, one of the 2 hits the Expos have. Fly ball right center. Bass will make the catch, 1 out. In fact, a sliding catch on that warning track to make the play. Vance Law 0 for 1 with a K. They tell aspiring broadcasters, by the way, pitch from Scott. Fly ball center field. Bass won't hurt himself this time around, 2 out. That before you go on the air, you should not drink a milk product or milk. Fitzgerald is 0 for 1 with a K. And so the wife is out and about this morning, and she says, well, what do you want for lunch? I said, pick me up a bagel, because she does other things, and I can eat them real quick. What do I get in my bagel? Cream cheese. What have I got right now? Milk mouth. Longest home run in the Astrodome was a 475-foot blast by Dave Kingman into the roof structure. And it took him about 5 hours to round the bases, right? Wrapping up a relaxing week, Dr. Jim. Next week begins your hell period through the end of May. No, Harry never drank milk in Chicago unless there was a Brandy Alexander. Jim, where are you a doctor? Pitch to Fitzgerald. There is a ground ball past Garner in the right field. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Poole is there. Fitzgerald going for 3. How about that? And he's got it. His first triple of the year. They'll wheel out the oxygen tent for him as Bryn Smith is 0 for 1. No, Harry never drank milk. Oh, your PhD in marketing and stats, but you work from home. Oh, nice. So what do you enjoy teaching? Obviously marketing and stats, Ron, because that's what your doctorate's in. I'm a little bit slow on the uptake sometimes. Pitch to Smith. Struck him out. 6 for Scott. Hey, the sun was kind of out today, but not anymore. Halfway through, another pitcher's duel. Astros 1, Montreal 0. Supposed to see my mom tomorrow, Barb, but we're supposed to get like a foot. She's supposed to get a foot of snow between now and Sunday. Mid-90s in Dallas, and it was 32 Monday night. Jeez. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Astros. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Expos. The lone run came after a Kevin Bass triple. Terry Poole got him in, and that's been it. Both pitchers have done yeoman's work. Bryn Smith, 2 hits through 4, the 1 run and 3 strikeouts. Mike Scott, Houston Astro, 5 innings, 3 hits, and 6 strikeouts. No, it's a northern storm, Barb. I don't think you're going to get much out of it. We might get a trace of 2 between now and Sunday. But whatever reason, as Garner is 0 for 1, my mom is on the eastern slope of the Green Mountains, so anyone who lives on an eastern slope of a mountain range, she gets pounded by rain and snow. Jim says I need to treat my yard for weeds, so let's have some extra innings so I can put it off. Jim, which of these games do you play? Garner's 0 for 1. There's a ground ball to Brooks. Hubie's got it deep in the hole over to Galarraga for the out, 1 away. I'm glad I could be a distraction. Park Bailey's 0 for 1. Especially if it's in the 90s. Struck him out. That's 4 for Smith. Bryn has pitched well. His fall tipped in the glove. Dickie Thon struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. When I lived in New Mexico, which the weather is hotter than Dallas, but certainly not as humid, we would, this time of year, watch that one summer I was there, watch them roll in sod for people who had money to give themselves a lawn, because it gets to be 105, 110, maybe 115 once or twice in the desert. That lawn would die over the course of the summer, and they would pull it out come October, and you'd see their ski resorts on eastern slopes and the Donner Party. I've seen the signs for the Donner Party National Park picnic area. Even Yogi Bear won't go there. Pitched to Thon. Struck him out. 5 for Smith. He struck out the side. How about that? 1 on a 1-2 after 5. Astros 1. Expos nothing. Herb Whittingham to lead off here in the 6th. 75 pitches for Scott. 5 innings, 3 hits, and 6 strikeouts. Whittingham will rip this one past Garner in the right field. Poole has that go to the wall, and Whittingham is in the second standing with his second double. Mr. Dr. Little, how are you? We got a bunch of doctors here today. A doctor in math and a doctor in doctoring. Mitch Webster is 0 for 2. Bailey and Scott have a word. 1-0. That lone run for Houston came in the first. Ground ball to Scott. Whittingham is on his way to third, and Webster is retired. So Ron was into grass. Yeah, as an 8-year-old. Andre Dawson, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So the tying run on third, 1 out. You look at those numbers, and Scott says, just let me pitch. Struck him out. That's why you do it. A 2-2 fastball at 92. 2 out. 7 for Scott. He now has 94 on the year. Hubie Brooks, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. I was picky taught as a kid about what grass I consumed. Not so much now, but certainly there. And that was a big strikeout. And so is that. That's 8. Scott can just pitch his way out of anything. 2-2, and Brooks just slams the bat on the ground. Through 5.5. Expos get a hit. They've left on 4 and trail it 1-0. So Scott Bass and Poole here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs. You're driving. Well, I hope you and Big Bertha have a good time. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for Montreal. They have left on 4. Houston, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and they have left on 1. If this isn't a typical Astrodome game, I don't know what is. He chops it to third. Wallach has to wait patiently. Over to first. Scott beat it out. Oh, my goodness. Galarraga looked for a second opinion. Scott just kind of bending over. He beat it out. That's only the 3rd hit. Here's Bass. His triple in the first led to the game's only run. 18 batters deep for Bryn Smith. 5+ innings. A run it was earned. He's allowed 3 hits and 5 strikeouts. That is a high ground ball to Law. Brooks for 1, Galarraga for 2. So a 4-6-3 double play, 2 out, nobody on. And Smith, I mean, obviously doesn't the power pitcher that Scott is, but he really has matched him. Smith didn't cover first. They had some words. Wasn't Bryn Smith the one that was into Fritos? Poole, 0 for 2, rips that one in the alley in the right center. That's going to be 2 at least. Dawson should have made that play. And Terry has a 6th double. Oh, the infield single. I just think Wallach that was just one of those 500 hoppers, and Wallach didn't charge it. Cruz has a double. He's 1 for 2. And he walked him. So first and second for the Astros. 2 out for Denny Walling, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The 3-1 missed upstairs. Left center, he goes the opposite way. Webster over in the alley. And he will make the catch, and the Astros get nothing out of it. No runs, 2 hits, they leave on 2. We go to the 7th at the Dome, 1-0 Houston. So Scott has fanned 8. Wallach 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball to short. Thon closer to third, deep in the hole, throw to first, and Wallach's out. We're with you at a special time on Monday. It'll be the doubleheader time, but it's only a 1 game. So 11:30 on Monday. And then we should be noon on Wednesday and Thursday. Galarraga 1 for 2 with a single. But it's the doubleheader time. I've got a 1 o'clock appointment, so it's the single header. It's a single header. Got away from Bailey on strike 3. The throw down to first, and Galarraga's out. That is 9 for Scott. His season high is 11. Vance Law, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Got a second verse, same as the first. That got away. You can scuff it too much. And that's 10. Stretch time, 1-0 Houston. Davis, Garner, and Bailey to face Smith. Wasn't Bryn Smith the Frito freak? And that he took advantage of when the Expos came down to the States to pick up bags. One of the Expos pitchers picked up bags and bags because I guess they didn't sell them in Quebec. Glenn Davis is 0 for 2. Struck him out. 6 for Smith. He's actually pitched well. Garner is 0 for 2. Ground ball to Hubie Brooks. Has to wait for it. Garner A little faster than Mike Scott, but he is out on the bang banger. And that'll do it for Smith. Jeff Parrott, Parrett, will come into pitch. How's your brackets all doing, by the way? So Parrott making his 8th appearance. He'll be done by June 7th, so he's almost done. 1-0. Reigns picked up bags and bags. Oh, but it wasn't Fritos. No, it wasn't Fritos, Todd. Just in case you didn't think it snowed enough in Montreal, Parrott is 1-0 with a 5.40 ERA. He's only 24, throws a hard fastball at 96 and a ground ball plus pitcher. Him and Stevie Nicks enjoyed the same snow. And it wasn't Phoebe. He last pitched 5 days ago against the Giants, a 9-8 win where he picked up the win, inning in a third, 11 pitches. So overall for Parrott, 8 1/3, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He's allowed 2 homers. He's walked 4 and struck out 5. So 2 out for Mark Bailey. Mark is 0 for 2 with a K. Ground ball right back to Parrott. Third base side of the rubber. Throws to Galarraga, and Bailey is retired. So that'll do it. Astros go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 8th. 1-0 Houston. So Fitzgerald, Wheel C, and Winningham to face Scott here in the 8th, who has struck out 10. The lone run came right at the start. A Bass triple and a Poole fielder's choice. I didn't do a bracket either, Dave, but every team that you were connected with yesterday lost. Ohio State, Wisconsin. Now, the one team that I used to root for, North Carolina, had the biggest choke in NCAA history yesterday. You got Akron and Wright State. I was rooting for Siena to beat Duke, but Siena was a 16. America East only puts in one team, and it wasn't UVM this year. They're in the women's tournament. So UMBC, who I believe is a 14 this year. You know, I hadn't given any thought to putting together all the cocaine. You should. You'd have Keith Fernandez at first. Oh, John lives 3 miles away from Wright State. Now, are you on Wright-Patterson or near there? Dr. Jim's wife works at Southern Methodist, and they were shocked about losing to Miami. Wow. We're old funny guys. We didn't do brackets. Pitch to Fitzgerald. Struck him out, so Scott, a season-high 11, now has 98 on the year. 99% of humanity was rooting for Siena to beat Duke. That's true. You can see the Air Force Museum from your backyard. That's cool. Yeah, you two are in the same area, right? Parrott, if he bats, is 1 for 2 on the real year. Jason Thompson will pinch hit. 333 as a pinch hitter, 204 overall with an RBI. Yeah, there's quite a few of you from Ohio, or that live in Ohio. John grew up about 40 minutes south of where I was born. Chops it the other way to third. Is that going to stay fair? It does. Walling with a snap throw to first. Thompson's running, and he is safe. And Al Newman will worry about being the punch runner at first. Oh, you taught at Wrights. Wow. What'd you teach, Dave? 20 years is a long time. Is that a medical school? Newman isn't going to steal, but if they get a base hit, he can run like the wind. Winningham 1 for 3 with a double. Scott, 27 batters, 118 pitches. 7 1/3. The things I know. 5 hits and 11 strikeouts. You went to the very first Wright State basketball game at the Nutter Center. Wasn't there a year? No, I'm thinking of Wichita State. good college baseball program. Pitch to Winningham. There's a high ground ball to Garner. And Phil can't make a play. They get nobody. So Garner turned 2 into none. The tying run is Newman. The go-ahead run is Winningham. And here's Mitch Webster. He's 0 for 3. Pickled Shane, how are you? That's cool. Webster pops it up right side. Poole into foul territory in the right field. Will he get there? No. Somebody from Katy made that play. It's a full count to Webster. Ground ball to Garner. Let's see what they can do with this. They probably won't get... Yeah, they'll try for Winningham. They get him there, and that's all they're going to get. If they get the speedy runner on the 4, it's 2 out on the 4-6 fielder's choice. Endicott is right there. Dr. Jim grew up Michigan-Wisconsin border. Dawson 0 for 3. Scott has struck him out twice. Last batter, I would think either... No. Last inning for Scott. He is due to bat second. And then Barb wants a word with him. I don't know why she's got a bottle of chloroform, but she does. Pitch to Dawson. Fly ball right center. Bass moving in. Rides a Schwinn, and the Expos get shut down again. We go to the bottom of the 8th. They got a hit and an error and cannot score. Montreal is left on 6. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 Houston. So, Dave, what did you teach? Tim Burke, 27, fastball at 92, a ground ball pitcher, making his 21st appearance, a 3.58 ERA. He has not had a decision but 1 save. He last appeared 2 days ago against the Padres in San Diego. A 4-2 win. He went 1 inning. 13 pitches, a solo homer, and 2 hits. 32 2/3, 32 hits, 13 runs. All earned. He's allowed 2 homers. He's walked 19 and struck out 26. The coach shoplifted from a grocery store. How you doing, Scotty? Why did you subscribe to the Menominee Gazette in college? So Thon, we'll see, and Bass for Houston in the 8th. Dickey is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Ground ball, base hit, left field. Astros, that'll get down the corner. Webster should have held that to a single. Instead, Thorne is on with a double. You taught family medicine, medical interviewing, physical diagnosis, and developed your own course on computers and medicine. Yeah, Todd, we're all pretty close. You're one bright dude, Dave. So Scott will get pinch hit for, and it will be Craig Reynolds. Nope, going to be Billy Doran. Doran is hitting .500 as a pinch hitter. He has the unfortunate fortune of getting picked off or caught stealing 3 times in one day on a stream. Against these Expos, as a matter of fact. Overall, 309, a home run, and 13 RBI. But with Thon on second, the Astros would love an insurance run in a 1-0 game. Struck him out. Burke got him on an 0-2 swinging. So here's Bass, 1 for 3 with a triple. It was the sporting news of newspaper comic strips. Ah. You know, there are days that I feel really stupid. And seeing who's in my chat today, that's one of those days. Pitch to Bass, and Kevin draws the walk. So first and second, 1 out. for Terry Poole, who was 1 for 3. His fielder's choice in the first brought home Bass, and that's been the lone run of the game. So Thon on second, Bass on first. Anything down the line probably would score Bass. John feels the same. You're a meteorologist, John. Feel the same way when you go to a middle school science fair? I went to Linden State. What those people had to go through? Oh, my word. Pitch to Poole. Ground ball to Law. Are they going to get him? Law to Brooks for 1. Back to Galarraga for 2. How about that? A 4-6-3 double play, and the Astros get nothing out of it. We go to the top of the 9th. Houston 1, Montreal nothing. Would you have done pharmacology? Because that's what SUNY Albany's best known for. A good friend of my dad's in Western New York went to Albany and was a pharmacist for his working life. We are going to go with Dave Smith, who, contrary to popular opinion, and we'll do the double switch. Doran a 7 at second. Was the first true one-inning closer. Smith, 0-2 with 8 saves, 8 out of 10. That's third in the National League with 8. A 2.55 ERA, 31 years old. Fastball at 92 and a ground ball plus pitcher. Oh, that meteorology at Albany at the time? That's right, because they do some conferences down there. I see him. Smith last pitched 2 days ago against the Cardinals in a 4-3 win. 2/3 of an inning, 17 pitches, a hit, and a walk. 70 to 2/3, 17 hits, 10 runs, just 5 earned. The home run came against Pittsburgh back on May 9th. He's walked 16 and struck out 14. It should be able to run off a USB or portable, absolutely. I think with this version, gang, can't you tell the computer where the data folder is? Because that's what it runs off of. He has been a workhorse. And if the Astros are to go to the playoffs, he will continue to be a workhorse. Hubie hits a ground ball between Thon and Walling, and the tying run is already on. Hubie going for 2. The throw to Doran. Double. And so the tying run is on and nobody out for Tim Wallach, who's 0 for 3. Now, no, I guess you got to pitch to him. I'm looking to see what Galarraga's done. Set up 2, but Smith, his real-life whip was 1-107. His replay whip is 1925. Oh, do I walk him? I hate intentional walks. We're pitching. Struck him out. Now, I think you walk Galarraga. Or do you? You set up the double play now, you win. 1 for 3 with a K. He is a power hitter. Todd, we walking Galarraga here or no? Brooks can score on a single to tie it up. It would be Cruz, Walling, and Davis if this game goes extra. Nope, you're pitching. Okay. Struck him out. That's 2. A 2-2. He reared back into that one. Advanced Law as a last chance saloon. Vance is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Fitzgerald on deck should the Expos extend the inning. Smith 1 out away from pitching out of a jam and giving Mike Scott a 1-0 win. He deals. Walked him. So he got the FBO walk. First base open. So first and second, 2 out for Mike Fitzgerald, who was 1 for 3 today, but that hit was a triple. He has struck out twice. The producers said I should have walked him. So Smith has walked 1, struck out 2, 17 tough pitches here in the top of the 9th. 2 out. Smith and Bailey have a word. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, base hit. That is going to get in the alley, and that is extra bases. Brooks will try and score. It'll be Poole with the throw. They're going to try to throw to the plate. Not in time, and this one's tied up. Thanks for the extra 50, Doctor. The Expos have tied it at 1. And now we'll have a pinch hitter. How you doing, Greg? Wayne Krenchicki, former... former Red at the plate. Wayne is a pinch hitter at 182. Winning run is Fitzgerald, or go-ahead run is Fitzgerald. Krenchicki overall 188 and an RBI. Law's on second. He's the go-ahead run. So Smith has blown the save. The weeds can pick themselves. Terry was being a good Canadian, but not throwing Brooks out. Here's the pitch. There's a slow chopper to third. Walling has to wait. 1 hop, 2 hops. He goes to first. That might be a mistake. Krenchicki's running, and he is safe. He beat it out. And the bases are loaded for Herm Winningham, who is 1 for 4 with a double. So Mike Scott, who struck out 11, is going to get a no decision here as Dave Smith is now tired. He blew the save. 1 for 4 with a double. Deep breath. Ground ball to third. Walling, step on the bag, Denny. Step on the bag. He goes to first. Winningham can run, and he is out on a bang banger. So the Expos tie the ball game. I don't know why you go to first, but that's what the computer does. 1 run on 3 hits, and the Expos have left on 9, but more importantly, they tie the ball game at 1. Dave Smith is 1 in the weeds. Yep. Greg in the upper deck. Oh, he looks safe from here. So you work to tie the game, and you throw out Bert Roberge and his 14.40 ERA. Nice job. Good effort. He is, however, 1-0, 31 years old, fastball at 88. Last pitched May 25th against the Giants. In a 9-8 win, an inning and 2/3, 32 pitches, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 10 innings, 20 hits, 16 runs, all earned, a home run. He's walked 6 and struck out 8. His ERA actually has dipped from 21.6 to 14.4. Sounds like a modem, doesn't it? Cruz, Walling, Davis, and a pinch hitter. In the immortal words of Hans Gruber, work must intrude. You're welcome. Have a safe weekend. Cruz, 1 for 2, a double and a walk. High ground ball to Law. Throw to Galarraga. Dr. Jim's weeds can wait a little bit longer. 1 out. For Denny Walling, 0 for 3 with a K. And he walked him, so the winning run is on. And 1 out. And remember, Fitzgerald has a ramen noodle arm behind the plate. Glenn Davis is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Bert just gassed up the weed eater. Pitch to Davis. Struck him out, 2 away. However, the weed eater needs oil. So they will pinch hit, and we will go with Jim Pankovitz. A pinch hitter and something you make breadcrumbs with. Panko. Jim is at 385 as a pinch hitter, 259 overall with a double. Walling not a threat to steal. Astros have 5 hits. The Expos have 8. Roberts deals. Fly ball to right. Back goes Dawson. That is well hit. But the weeds can wait. We're playing free baseball. No runs, no hits, and no errors. John Bocabella would have had a great arm. Yep. After 9, Expos and Astros tied at 1. So we'll go with Larry Anderson. Larry, 33, making his 5th appearance. He's over from the Phillies, apparently. Since coming over, 1-0, a 5.68 ERA. Friday free baseball. Dr. Jim is so happy. Pitch on the 26th did Anderson in a 9-5 win over St. Louis, where he got the win. He would eventually be traded for Jeff Bagwell. 2 innings, 49 pitches, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, a walk, and a strikeout. All they say on Practical Jokers, Larry! 6 1/3 for Larry. 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Webster, 0 for 4 as we start the 10th. Base hit right field. Poole will pick it up, and Webster holds with a single. So nobody out. Webster can steal. Andre Dawson, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. In the building I used to live in, it was run by an older couple. Actually named the building after him, Larry Decker. And his wife, Phyllis, God bless her. See what Webster does here. Let's pitch out. Runner goes to throw down to Doran, and Webster is in there. So the go-ahead run is on for Dawson. And I will walk him. So they'll face Hubie Brooks. Hubie 2 for 4, a double and 2 strikeouts. But a ground ball should get 2 out. So his name was Larry, her name was Phyllis, and they ran the building. And Larry did his best every once in a while because she was General Patton in orthopedic shoes to escape. And so all you ever had to do, if you know that she was looking for him, you would just hear this very quiet but very sharp, Larry. And he knew he was done for. Todd's favorite gag on Unpractical Jokers is when they call out fake names in the office. That's cool. Oh, James, is that actually his last name? James Cast has a brother, Dan, that works on the show. That's cool. So first and second, nobody out. Brooks 2 for 4. That's the ground ball they need. What's Thorne going to do? Doran for 1. They don't get Brooks. But Tim Wallach 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Runners in the corners. Again, a double play ends the inning. My wife watches Taskmaster. Pitch to Wallach. Ground ball passed on, and the Expos are going to go ahead. Webster scores. That's all the way to the wall. Brooks around third. Cruz will throw to Thon to throw home, and Hubie Brooks is in there with a run. So it's 3-1 Montreal. Taskmaster is a show on British television that kind of does humiliating tasks to comedians, right? Greg, you'd like it. Bob Dett, the Flying Things Ferguson, very old-time baseball player. Yep. Your last name is telling you what the weeds are, Jim. Here's Galarraga, 1 for 4. He has struck out twice. Anderson deals, and Galarraga draws the walk. So Anderson has pooped the bed here in the 10th. And the Expos just were patient and patient and patient. 1 in the 9th and 2 in the 10th. 1 out for Vance Law. 0 for 3. A walk and 2 strikeouts. Base hit left center field. That will go all the way to the wall. Bass plays it. Laws in standing with a double. Wallach scores, and it's 4-1. Yes, there was a moment of silence for Chuck Norris, who fought death to a draw today at the age of 86. Mike Fitzgerald, 2 for 4. A triple, an RBI, and 2 strikeouts. Can Houston trade Anderson for Bagwell now? Oh, Todd, the weeds motto. If you mow it, they will grow. Scotty's got to burn some wood. Fitzgerald up the middle for a base hit. Anderson's got no stuff, and it's now 5-1 Montreal. Would you believe that Bert Roberge is going to get the win? Jim Wolford will pinch hit. There's still only 1 out. Runners on the corners. Wolford, 176 as a pinch hitter, 238 overall. Bailey, not a happy camper. There's a ground ball. Doran. They want 2. Thon for 1, Davis for 2, and that was a double play they needed about 5 minutes ago. Expos score 4 on 4 hits, not 7. Bottom 10, Dan Schatz. Not even a save situation at this point. Goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie. Expos 5, Astros 1. So Dan Schatzeder, 4-1, making his 18th appearance. Reardon is warming. Schatzeder, 31. Fastball at 85. A fly ball pitcher. Last pitch 4 nights ago against the Padres, he got the win 2-1. 2 innings, 33 pitches, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. 27 in the third for Schatzeder. 24 hits, 10 runs, all earned. He's allowed 2 homers. He's walked 12 and struck out 16. So Bailey is 0 for 3. Ground ball to Law. Astros 4 to tie, 5 to win, 1 out. For Dickie Thon. Dickie Thon is 1 for 3. A double and struck out twice. He fields for that one. Fly ball to left. Webster going back. Did he actually get more than that than I thought? No. Webster waits on the track. Last chance saloon, 2 out for Billy Doran, who came in the 9th and struck out. He's 0 for 1. So the Expos, a huge win. It's too bad they lose so many good players over the course of the season. This is a pretty good team. Yeah, Dan was good for a good hitter, too. Pitch to Doran. Fly ball to the left. Webster's going to get this one, I think. And the Expos have stolen one here in the heart of Texas. They beat Houston by the score of 5-1. Astros Reefers never watching my channel again. So a 4-run 10th. Where's that poll? It said Expos. 56%. 3 hours and 39 fake minutes. Montreal goes to 27-17. 5 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. They left on 10. The Astros, a run on 5 hits and an error, and they left on 5. So Bert Roberge, in his 13.09 ERA, gets his second win. Bryn Smith, 6 2/3, 4 hits. A run it was earned, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Good bullpen work all the way around. They went 3 1/3 and allowed just 3 base runners, but nobody scored. Mike Scott, 8 innings, 5 hits, and 11 strikeouts. He was on the cusp of not being able to go anywhere, but National League pinch hitter came up Dave Smith blew his third save, 1 inning, 3 hits, the tying run in the ninth. A walk and 2 strikeouts, and all 4 runs get charged to Larry Anderson, who went 1 inning, 4 hits, and walked 2, and his ERA is a healthy 9.82. Yet the 83 game score is wasted. All right, rest of the Friday in baseball. Remember, 11:30 Monday, but it's just one game. We'll post it in the Facebook group, too. So the rest of this Friday night, a full 30th of May, Atlanta, in the Battle of the Superstations, beat the Cubs 6-2 in Chicago. Rick Mailer goes to 3-6. Scott Sanderson falls to 2-3. Dale Murphy 2 for 5 and a triple. St. Louis beat the Reds 8-2 at Riverfront. Ray Burris gets the win. He goes to 1-2. John Denny 3-5. Willie McGee hits his third, 2 for 5, and drives in 3. Giants beat the Mets in New York 2-1. Mike Lacoste 3-3. Roger McDowell falls to 5-1. Bob Brenly 1 for 3, a double, a stolen base, and a walk. Padres beat the Phils 8-5. Eric Shaw 4-2. Kevin Gross goes to 2-7. Milt Thompson hits his fifth, goes 3 for 5, drives in 2. Cleveland, Joe Carter, a 15-game hitting streak. They trash Milwaukee 13-4. Phil Niekro goes to 5-4. Juan Nieves 4-5. Brooke Jacoby 2 for 4, hits his 7th and drives in 4. Mike Bielecki holds the Dodgers to 3 hits over 7, walks 2. Pittsburgh beats him 9-6. Pat Clements 2-0. Ken Howell falls to 3-5. Len Matusik hit a 3-run homer. Chicago beats Toronto in Toronto 5-4. Davis 3-6. Dave Steep falls to 5-4. Ron Kittle 1 for 3, hits his 5th and draws a walk. Rangers walk 10. Dennis Leonard strikes out 10 over 8 1/3. Royals beat the Rangers 7-3. Leonard 5-3. Bobby Witt, well, there's a reason why they had 10 walks, falls to 2-5. Oddibe McDowell 2 for 3, hits his 4th. Minnesota doubles up Boston 8-4. Frank Viola goes to 5-4. Woodward goes to 0-1. And Dwight Evans hits his 9th, 1 for 2. He walked twice. Kurt Young holds the Yankees to 2 hits. Strikes out 6, gives up just 1 run. He goes to 3-0. A's beat the Yankees 2-1. Fisher 1-3. Canseco 3 for 4 with a stolen base. I would imagine that should be Monday's game. Seattle beat Detroit 4-2. Moore 4-7. Jack Morris pitching the score. He goes to 4-2. Tarnable 2 homers, drives in 2. He now has 10. And Baltimore pounds out 17 hits. They beat California 12-7. Flanagan 3-4. Ron Romanek, who hears the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep, falls to 3-5. Alan Wiggins 4 for 6 and 3 RBI. It's a night game. That's probably why I didn't take it. Oh, no, I did take it. That is the stream on Monday, 11:30. Ron Guidry against the A's. We'll see you for that. Enjoy the rest of your week. All right, go enjoy your weeds. We'll talk to you. Have a good one. Have a safe weekend. We'll see you Monday, 11:30. Bye-bye.